And with that, we'll end our official sports bulletin and, of course, switch our focus to this event that we're attending today. Of course, I'm not in studio because I'm in Ilovo, where the Women Who Make Moves in Sports Summit is going to be taking place. Of course, this is an initiative by Momentum, the insurer who looks to back women during this Women's Month under their campaign, She Owns Her Success. Of course, Momentum have been backing women throughout the month of August, as they'll also be sponsoring the G Sport Awards that are set to take place towards the end of the month. But this event is all about empowering women in sport. Of course, it started yesterday and today is day 2, as they'll continue to have some courses and, of course, knowledge sharing amongst the women who do make an impact in the world of sport. And one such woman does join me now. Dumisani Chauke, of course, is the former assistant coach of the Spar Proteas, the national netball team, and is now the chairperson of the University Sports Association of South Africa under the netball banner, and also the head of sport, the head of department at TUT. I don't know which hat you wear at times, but it's all about acknowledging women in sport here. We had our first day yesterday. Take us through some of the key takeouts for you and why it is important to have such events.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Andy. Thank you so much for having me. Welcome to Gibbs. We had an eventful day yesterday. I think I took away 2 things: the importance of networking and being intentional in your networking. That's number 1, and number 2, the power of social media and how you can leverage your social media presence to attract brands or to align yourself with brands and sponsors and organizations that would like to, broadcast or send out a message that basically aligns with your values. And of course, Momentum is one of those. We're here to empower women.
And you mentioned Momentum. How important is it to get corporate backing? Because that's always been a cry from women in sport. When you're sitting in a room with other women, what do you think needs to be done then to change that message, have more brands like Momentum backing women's sport?
Well, one thing that needs to happen for us as women in sport is we first need to be educated on what it is that we want to sell to the brands. Corporate are not just, just splashing out money anymore. They want to know what value are you bringing to the table. So firstly, we were taught on how to position yourself so that you bring value to an organization. And corporate is important because they bring along, the vast experience, they bring along the financial resources, which we might not always have a luxury of having in sport. So big ups to Momentum for this initiative.
Well, another misconception perhaps is that the sponsorship doesn't go into women's sport because there's no following. We've just seen the Olympic Games. We've seen women consistently making waves, and we also saw it in the Women's World Cup where there was large viewership there. What do you think this means for the winds of change in women's sport and perhaps getting to the same level as their male counterparts?
Well, women's sport is evolving daily. That's number 1. Number 2, we're becoming more competitive, and we are also starting to take ourselves serious. Remember, sport has become a business, and the business of sport is about women. And one thing that I can refer to America, I mean, if you look at the WNBA, the viewership there is massive. Same that happened with the Netball World Cup last year, where we had a large following on social media as well as on TV. So us rebranding and positioning ourselves in a manner that we are not only just seen as pretty faces, we are also stern competitors on the sporting field, and that is what corporate is looking for, to back competitive athletes that understand the business of sport.
And how do you then make sure that this message carries on beyond the 31st of August? Because we know Women's Month, there's symposiums, there's discussions, and then it all seems to die down again until the following year.
Well, it's up to us that are here to take the knowledge and the learnings that we take from here and take it back to where we are. And again, the year has 12 other months, or 11 other months besides August. So, it's not about just doing stuff or talking about it only during August. We have the whole year to be out there empowering communities, talking to young girls, educating them, giving them the necessary skills and knowledge, experiences for them to also, be in a better position. So by the time they get here, they don't have to go through the same struggles.
Tell me about your expectations from today. There's going to be a keynote speaker all the way from the USA at Harvard Business School. What are you hoping to get out of today's activities?
Well, apart from the networking from yesterday and social media, is how to then leverage on all that when you package it, and how to then present yourself as a woman in sport looking for business. Yeah.
Tell me about some of the other athletes, then your fellow sports people that we can expect to see here today.
Well, we've got the 2 Spar Protea coaches. They're here, Zanele and Jenny. We've got former captains, Simnikiwe as well as Martha. We do have current Spar Protea players. We've got Carla Pretorius, Kanyisa Chawani, Kamukhelo Maseko. We've got former Spar Protea, Zanele Vimbela as well. And we've got a couple of rugby players, football players, boxers, athletics. So it's a nice mix of women in sport, and not only just athletes, but administrators as well.
Well, certainly looking forward to an exciting day. You look like you're looking forward to it as well. And great to see such initiatives taking off for women during this month of August.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Of course, that is Dumisani Chauke, one of the attendees here. Of course, a phenomenal woman in sport in her own right, just listing some of the other big names we can expect to see here today as Momentum does continue to then empower women and hopefully get the message to translate to more action beyond this Women's Month. I'll be giving you a few more crossings as the morning does progress. We'll also be speaking to the manager of brand and communication at Momentum, Nontogozo, a bit later on, as we'll be speaking to some of the other athletes as well. So it's not the last from me, but we'll get back to you, Aldrin and Naledi in studio for now.